Hi everyone. Today we are going to be going over the evolution of the tennis serve. And throughout my video, I'm going to use not only video of one of my own students, but I'm also going to use video of the guy I could probably consider to have not the biggest serve on tour, but the guy with the most textbook form, and that's Stan Wawrinka. A couple things to note is at the very beginning, her body weight should be loaded on her back foot, and if you'll notice, her left foot is up front, okay? Both hands even, close to the ball. It's kind of the main points we're looking for at the beginning. As you can tell, as she goes to her first part, three things begin to move at once. Both of her hands and her front knee will drop, and she'll move her toe down until all her body weight is down. Both hands up at the same time, legs finish at the same time. Please go from the beginning again. So beginning of the serve, and it's very proportional. You'll watch both hands and the knee all begin at once. Okay, here's a pretty simple drill from the beginning to the trophy position. You're going to put a hopper down or even a racket slightly in front, and if you're right-handed, slightly to the right of you. If you're left-handed, slightly to the left of you. You're going to toss the ball, and I want you to hold in trophy position all the way until the ball comes down and either hits the hopper or it hits the ground. Couple key things to note here. Notice how Wawrinka's racket face is closed when he's in this true trophy position. His strings are pointed towards the ground and his palms toward the ground. Another real important thing is to look at his right elbow. Notice how his right elbow is above his right shoulder in trophy position. Okay, the next part we have to work on is our contact point, but we have to go from our trophy position to our contact point. So you'll notice the first thing Marissa begins to do is her right hand will drop down behind her head. She's going to try and keep her elbow as still as possible. From here, the body turns. So her right shoulder moves forward at the same time she begins to swing upward with her hand, and she'll get up on top of the ball. Take note of how bent her racket is. You shouldn't see the racket face flip back like that. We always want to make sure we're up on top, snapping the ball. So when we get here, her contact point needs to look like that. Okay, all form aside, contact point is the most important thing in tennis. So the first of the three contact points is highest point. Notice how Marissa's arm is fully extended, and also Wawrinka's arm is fully extended. They're stretching up as high as they can to meet the ball at the absolute highest point. So a really good contact point drill is you could set up a rope with poles on each end of the net. And what you'll want to do is you'll start with your left hand over the net and starting in trophy. And what you want to do is get the contact point at the highest point. So if Marissa reaches up, you should see that her racket's just slightly above it, really trying to encourage hitting up and at the highest point, and she wants to avoid hitting the net. And this is just for good contact, not trying to hit the ball hard, and the ball should be landing inside of the service box. Good. Another good drill we could do is to toss and trap the ball at the highest point. You could just go to the side of the tennis court where there's a gate, get nice and close, start in the trophy, drop, and try and trap the ball. One more. Perfect. Part number two is getting the ball slightly out in front of your body. The biggest problem I see people do is they think that tossing the ball so far out in front of their body is going to give them a ton of extra power. Don't think of the serve as a baseball throw or baseball motion. Think of swinging up and snapping down. So of course you want the ball slightly out in front of your body, but remember, don't go too far.
The last step to the perfect contact point is tossing the ball and contacting the ball on the server's right side of his body. If you're lefty, it would be on the left side of your body. Take note of how Stan, if we look at him, the ball will be slightly to the right of his head.
So now that the contact point's good and you're getting up to the highest point, it's time to begin to start serving on the normal court. So one thing I do, try and start in short court. Don't go full court yet, and really work on the wrist snap. So Marissa's gonna hit a couple balls. Now, as you're comfortable in that trophy position, it's time to start hitting tosses using full motion. So stop, set up, pull it to the trophy. Again, getting that ball at the highest point. Thanks everybody for watching the evolution of the flat tennis serve. Stay tuned and subscribe to www.mcnamaratennis.com for more tennis instruction videos.